apart from Manchester, it's Manchester.
I spoke to Vinny a couple of times, urging me to come. He says, great team, it's going to suit me.
He's only been in Manchester a few weeks, but this place is fast becoming his kingdom.
So Bruyne go down awkwardly. Bruyne being attended to by City medics.
I was running on crutches and my wife was 8 months pregnant. I'm proud to have been playing so long for such a big team.
So Kevin, thanks very much for sitting down with us today. How do you look back at that season now? You're the longest serving player here, been here 7 years.
It was good, you know. I came in as a new player, and you know there was a lot of, talk because of the big transfer fee at the time. But I came in and I think I started really well, and I think the first half of the season we did really well, and then unfortunately I got the knee injury. So I was out for about 6 weeks, eight weeks, something like that. Then luckily I could have come in just before the PSG games, and then made it to the first semi-final. So for me individually it was great. I don't think we had a great season as a team in the end, but yeah, for me it was really good.
His leisure centre, he's a public-facing leisure centre.
In terms of your signing, we've got a clip here we want to show you from your first interview. Younger-faced Kevin De Bruyne for sure. Nice shoes as well, by the way.
Kevin, welcome to Manchester City. The deal has finally gone through. How are you feeling?
To be honest, a little bit tired. I think the last few weeks there was a lot of press, also in Germany. I still kept on playing and training, so I think this is good. I stayed professional at Wolfsburg, and we were just waiting until everything was falling into place.
There was high expectations on the move, the transfer here. Did you personally feel any pressure in that, or were you quite relaxed at it?
I would say the wait was long. It was not really something that I enjoyed happening. Because my wife was pregnant at the time, so there was a lot of stress on the baby also, so that wasn't great, but and sometimes it just goes that way, and there was a lot going on behind the scenes, so we just had to wait our time, and in the end we came.
And what was it that appealed about the city of Manchester itself and Manchester City, the club, to you and your now wife?
They were very direct that they wanted me, and so they were really keen on signing me, and I spoke to Vinny a couple of times, urging me to come. He says, great team, it's going to suit me. The city of Manchester, I didn't really know about it, but that's not really what was important at the time.
A somewhat unexpected top-of-the-table clash awaits Manchester City on match day 5 of the Premier League season. There's a City player who's on the bench today, Kevin De Bruyne, a new signing available for selection.
Moving on towards your debut, it came in unfortunate circumstances for Sergio, who obviously got injured after about 25 minutes, but big moment for you. It's for sure that any player has to be ready at any point to be called upon. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but I don't think I really did a warm-up, so it was just like you said, he was injured and I had to come in.
Certainly not the circumstances Kevin De Bruyne would have liked, but he will make his Manchester City debut with Sergio Aguero going off.
I think we won the game in the last minute, so but it was an okay debut, not special, but it was good enough, and it got me quickly playing in the team.
Did you feel personally ready at that point? Obviously you'd had the experience at Chelsea prior, and you'd done pretty well at Wolfsburg as well. This time round, did you feel like now I'm ready for this time?
I don't look at it that way. Obviously Chelsea was a different time. I was a young player. But I've played in Genk, Bremen, Wolfsburg, so it's just a new team, new players, new club. I don't see it as something big at the time. It's just I come to this team to perform as a player, and That's it.
Everybody knows that I'm new in the team and that I will need some time to adapt to the way of playing because it's a different style. But I think did my best to help the team and could do a couple of things. And I'm not worried about these things. Everything will come in my way and the team's way. And I think I just have to be patient and it will be good.
Moving a couple of games forward to your first goal at home to West Ham, despite the defeat, big one for you getting a goal straight away early doors and especially in front of the home fans.
Yeah, I think, like I said, that I started well, and I think this was only like second or third game or whatever, and then I had a few games in a row where I scored. So yeah, I started quickly and it settled me really well into the team, and you know, then it just went from there.
Still De Bruyne!
Now that's the space here for De Bruyne! That's how to finish! He's only been in Manchester a few weeks.
It's a powerful header in! A moment of magic from Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne has run the show. He is putting on an awesome show. This place is fast becoming his kingdom.
Your numbers throughout that season kept racking up. I think you'd had double figures for goals and assists, so you were definitely showing your worth to the team. Get to the League Cup second leg against Everton, and, well, for you, the unfortunate moment of having such a horrific injury. Talk us through that moment of having it, because obviously you were, in a way, riding the crest of a wave. What was going through your mind, minus the pain, obviously?
Well, at that time, you know, I just snapped my knee, so obviously it's like the first big injury that I had, and yeah, it's a really sharp pain at the time.
I hope it's not bad. We're gonna see tomorrow after he made his contour there in the hospital, and the doctor gonna give the update about him. But we pray it's gonna be nothing serious.
Off the pitch, of course, your wife was about, am I right in saying, a month or so away from being pregnant with your first child, Mason. Was there a worry that you couldn't be there as best as possible for her because of the injury, or was that never come across you?
It wasn't great because I was running on crutches and my wife was 8 months pregnant, so it would be a funny sight to see, but you know, it happened, and you know, everything was fine. So we managed it, and you know, my son was born and all good.
Did it bring perspective to you as a young player at the time?
Well, I think it's like any parent. You don't exactly know what's going to change until it happens. Obviously, priorities change with having kids. You know, you have the responsibility of taking care of other people, where before you just take care of yourself and your girlfriend or whatever. So now it's all different, and you know, I've got 3 kids now. A lot has changed since then, but everything is going really good, and we're happy, so that's the most important thing.
Manchester City are Capital One Cup winners for 2016.
One game you unfortunately missed that season was the League Cup final. You'd contributed 5 goals, 5 assists. You'd had a great run in that cup. Was it hard to watch?
It's always hard to watch. It's not enjoyable, but at least we won it. You know, there's nothing you can do if you're injured, but we'll take it as it is. And fortunately, the boys, won it, and you know, I can still enjoy it that way. I did what I needed to do to help my team get there, and they did the rest. You just want to go back and play football, so that's why you want to be as quick as possible back on the pitch. So, but you know, that unfortunately that came in between. But you know, these events happen in life, and you know, you don't worry about these things too much. You take it as it is.
I've been out for 9-10 weeks, so It's been okay. Probably could have been a little bit longer, but I feel good.
Straight into your first game back, away at Bournemouth. As a team, pretty destructive performance, a 4-0 away win. You contributing to what could be maybe a goal of the season contender. How much relief was off your shoulders the fact you were just able to get that
Well,
goal?
I think I was happy to come back and get to like a decent level. You know, obviously there was a lot of big games coming around, and I think I was more happy that I could be back playing football. And you know, I think it was a good first start to that part, and you know, I was just happy.
Aguero to Silva, to De Bruyne, it's a fantastic goal. Kevin De Bruyne scores for Manchester City, making his return from injury in style.
Yeah, can you remember the goal itself, the intricate play that between, I think it was yourself, I think that Silva might have been involved in it as well.
With Koen. Yeah, there was a lot of things going around, and you know, the ball was in the air, and I'd do it like on the volley, and I know it was a good goal.
I think that Kevin played the same way he was playing before he was injured. It was a very important play for our team. Unfortunately for him and for the team, that important injury keep him 2 months away of the team. But he played today 55 minutes. I think that he did very well, and I hope that in the future he will return at the normal performance that they had before his injury.
For the first time in their history, Manchester City face a Champions League quarter-final fixture, taking on Paris Saint-Germain tonight.
Paris Saint-Germain, for you, possibly one of the biggest games of the season. Over those 2 legs, you did a pretty good job of contributing. What are your memories of those 2 games? Because getting Man City to a first semi-final, massively important.
Yeah, they were hard. I think especially away, I think PSG was probably better. But yeah, obviously we got away with a 2-2 over there. I think at home we were actually pretty decent, but it was a tight game, and then obviously scoring the 1-0 to go to the semis. You felt it was a pretty big event at the time for the club, and you know, to contribute for that in the first part of the first season was nice.
And finally, what has Manchester City given Kevin De Bruyne as a man and as a player?
What? You know, it's been, well, in one way it's family, isn't it? You know, I'm very happy here, and I'm proud to have been playing so long for such a big team. And you know, I've got 3 kids that are born in Manchester. We live in Manchester, that's our home, go to school here. So my life evolves around Manchester, and you know, in one way that's always going to be a part of me, and it's been the longest time that I've been in the club as a player. So it's always going to be a very important part in my life.